Cat, home of brilliant children's books. Meow!
Hello and welcome to another exciting episode, and today I'm going to be reviewing My Secret Diary by Jacqueline Wilson. So this is another Jacqueline Wilson book, and it's an autobiography of her life as 14. Ever since I was little, I have loved writing stories and poems. I would get an idea, buy a new exercise book, and start writing industriously, thinking myself the creator of a masterpiece. But by the end of the week, I would think of another better idea and repeat the rigmarole. But now I have the better idea of writing a diary, as I hope I'll never get sick of my own life. I'm only very ordinary, admittedly, but interesting things do sometimes happen to me. Jacqueline Wilson, age 14. In My Secret Diary, Jacqueline shares her innermost thoughts and feelings from the year she was 14, through extracts of her own real diary from 1960. So when she was 14, she written this diary in 1960. So that's a long time ago. So, this is her life as 14, and she was my age. So I've sort of experienced how her life has been, like all sorts of exciting things happening to her. It also says what she mainly talks about: dating, dancing, dreams and dilemmas. So I'm guessing those are her interests. So she talks about a lot about her life and who her mum and dad is, and who her friends are, and all sorts of things, and what her hobbies are. Also, she loves to write, as she's become an author now. So Jacqueline Wilson has written a lot of my favourite books, like Hetty Feather, which I've actually reviewed on my book reviews. And in here it's quite interesting because she's got some pictures. As you can see there, that's her when she is 14. And there's lots of different pictures in the chapters too, which I find is quite interesting. Like when she's a bit, I don't really know how old she is there, but it's got all sorts of pictures all through her life, like her school and dance class. So I never knew Jacqueline actually likes dancing. So she basically went to dance class as well, which it says on the front here of what she quite likes. So so she's gone through relationships, she's gone through dreams, what she wants to do, she's gone through dilemmas, which is normal for teenagers, and because you're basically growing into a woman for girls at the age of 14, get all sorts of hormones in you. So there's been quite a lot happening in Jacqueline's story. And at the end, it actually says that she met, it's like a little comic. Right here. It shows all her stages through life, since she was a little girl to when she becomes 17. And then she starts to write her first book, which is published. And she obviously gets a daughter. And she just grows up, and she actually meets Nick Sharratt, who actually illustrates the pictures, and it always says his name at the bottom if you look carefully. So Jacqueline Wilson has had a lot going through her life, as most people would probably think and do, and there's actually quite a lot of pictures here at the start, if you can see that. So yeah, the pictures are very interesting, and as you would probably know, but if you guys don't know, they're in black and white because it was like where they didn't have colour pictures or anything, and they weren't rich either. So yeah, it's also got more things to read out, so I'll read out this. In 1960, you'd wear stiff petticoats and dancing shoes. Now you'd wear jeans and trainers. So that's what we would wear now. In then, young girls, or just young women, had to wear dancing shoes and wear stiff petticoats. Now that doesn't sound very comfortable, but that's what they had to wear in those days. That's quite interesting. Also, in 1960, you'd spend hours listening to records and radios and all that, because they didn't really have TV in those days. Or if they did, it would cost a lot of money and it wouldn't be like a normal TV. And she listens to music. Not music, they didn't have phones in those days. I think music was only on the radios and on those old discs. And also she would learn all steps to the latest dances. So she basically liked to maybe dance in her room. So she quite liked to dance, which is quite interesting. And she just makes up her own moves with dance moves and all sorts. But girls always have and always will have crushes on boys. So that's sort of a life of being a teenager. You get all sorts of things swelling around you, crushes, all sorts of things. If boys are listening to this, sorry, you have to hear all that. And yes, I've known a lot of teenagers who get embarrassed by their parents and things like that, or embarrassed by all sorts of things than when you're a little girl or something. And I think she quite liked school, but it says she also got embarrassed in school. She had a lot of friends and she didn't quite like her hair. I thought her hair is actually quite nice. I mean, I think it's quite nice. And look at that. Nice curls. There's nothing wrong with curls. I've got curls. Yes, she says that her mum gives her haircuts and she doesn't really like it. She wants to change her hair. She wants to be like all other girls with nice hair and things like that. But I think Jacqueline Wilson has got nice hair. I think it's quite nice. So yeah, she was basically embarrassed in school by her looks and all sorts of things. And she's written memoirs, which is memories in life as a teenager, about her friends and herself. So I really hope you enjoyed this interesting life of Jacqueline Wilson book reviews. Don't forget to like, subscribe and click the bell. You'll never miss another episode. I would probably give this book 3 stars, because the reason why I would give it 3 stars is on the chapters, some of them were quite hard to understand or different things I wasn't that much interested into, but I could understand other chapters and that I was quite interested in all those things. So thank you for watching and I'll see you next time. Bye.